Okay, well, guys, this is a video that I actually had no intention of making, but apparently I saw this and I said, "Ain't no way." In case you're wondering what it was, I mean, you can read, so reading's great. But basically, apparently, Discord is bringing in age verification. Now we all know how well that's gonna go down. I think. But anyways, so yeah, long story short, basically, if you guys don't remember, there was a bit of a law that was going around the UK, and I believe Australia is also in on it as well, where for certain social media sites you have to age verify. So literally, VPNs went up like crazy because stuff like prawn sites, people had to put in their age verification, and we've talked about this on this channel beforehand. But I mean, to give you the summary of my thoughts on it, just really quick, I don't like it because you basically have to you basically are giving up information, like valuable information, to stuff that doesn't need to have it in the first place. Especially for like particular services. Like if you want to get on Instagram, you're not making money off of Instagram. It's not like a source of employment. I'm sure it's for some people, but most majority of people aren't using it for something like that. So why would you give Instagram your information that they can do whatever with it? And besides that, there's already targeted advertisements and stuff, even when you are not even if your information is not even there. So why in God's name is it even possible for you to even do that? So that's what I think about those kind of things. And something like Discord definitely shouldn't be getting your data, like at all. Even if you pay for stuff like Discord Nitro, like that's stuff that should be only kept to yourself, or for like a transaction, of course, like you have to give it up because you're paying for a service. That's when it's like I think that's information you can give up. That's fine, but stuff like your ID should never be given to things like that unless it's like an important like government orchestrated like for a job. You know the drill. The stuff that you actually need it for. So, anyways, so yeah, Discord dropped like an article themselves the other day about how to complete age assurance on Discord, posted by Bubbles. This was actually 2 days ago, so I literally just got this now. So we're just gonna go to the article, and I'll tell you my thoughts on it, and I'll tell you also why I think it's a bad idea. So here it says. Age assurance helps Discord provide you with an age appropriate experience, such as managing default settings and controlling what sensitive content you see on our platform. More on when age assurance is required below. This is a one time process, so once we have your verified age group, you don't need to verify again. Of course, it's with the UK Online Safety Act and all that stuff. So, something to note, actually, here they say that Discord and KID do not permanently store personal identity documents or your video selfies. Images of your identity documents and ID match selfies are deleted directly after your age group is confirmed, and the video selfie used for your facial age estimation never leaves your device. So the age assurance process is the same, regardless of how it's triggered. And so step one, start verification. You'll see a prompt asking you to verify your age if you haven't done so already. So this is standard for pretty much like a lot of stuff. Even for even for some jobs I've done, they ask you to do this kind of stuff. But that's like I said, a job. And so basically, you scan your ID, and that doesn't really matter. So I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. So here are the options actually. So step two. Choose your verification method. So we need you to verify age. So you have option one of a face scan, or you scan your ID. And so even option one, I'm still very iffy on. It's not like, I feel like something that's not really like necessary. You know what I mean? But let's keep going. And so here's like a prompt where it says, "Oh, we need to verify your age." Sorry about that. Here's your ID. And so, step three, just confirmation. After verification, you'll receive system messages about the verification process and a direct message from Discord's official profile confirming your verified age group. And so, that's basically what we have here. And before we get into other stuff, I do want to mention, I feel like, when it comes to stuff like this, okay? Because on Discord, the experience is really what you make of it. And I mean, I use Discord pretty often, so it's not like, so I'm telling you, like, for someone like me, I only spend time in like servers where, well, I'm only speaking from my experience, but I spend time in servers mostly with like actual friends or very private servers. So I don't really do any stuff like on a grand scale. The only time you'll see me in a big server is if I'm using it for emotes. Okay, because some emotes are genuinely fun to have, and I don't have the amount of boosters or whatever in my own private server or something where I can just run those around all the time. So it's kind of like what you make of it. But I do know there are people who spend massive times in big servers and all that. And a big, like a big thing on Discord, one of the big issues is that there's a lot of like predation on it. So you have like Discord predators everywhere doing God knows what. And you have people there's a lot of scams running around on Discord as well, and a lot of like underage people literally being in places where they shouldn't be. And so you'll be asking, oh well, Ashley, how are we supposed to know what exactly, like, how are we supposed to protect the people? I always say this every time, okay? It's kind of on the onus of, say, like the parents or something, or hell, like you could even, if you want to push it, like school system or something, to really teach people how to properly navigate these places. 'Cause especially now, what I've noticed, okay, is that I see a lot of like younger children. They have phones and stuff, but I don't think they've been really taught how to use their phone. So you kind of have people end up going in, random places. I mean, that's because even that stuff happened to me. Like even I didn't know how to navigate the internet like properly. It took me some time getting used to it. So I feel like that's kind of what it is. That's like one step towards it, and also, it's also on the onus of people who run said servers, to actually put in the proper steps in order to do that. Because once you have to start giving up your ID, it starts a very like slippery slope of, oh, you give your ID, you are at the mercy of whatever the hell they want to do with it. And these are private companies, by the way. So even if you're skeptical with the government, God knows what a private company is going to do with you on that. So this is why, like, I try to emphasize, like, this is one of those where it's like the desired outcome is not really what we're looking for, because you're going to say, oh, it's save the kids, or it's for the kids, protect the children. It's like, no, that's really how it works. Like, that's always a shield for something usually more nefarious. So that's why I implore you, don't fall for these kind of tricks. Because, yeah. Anyways, moving along, we can have here, like, if age assurance fails, you can retry your ID scan at any time, and if you are verified as under the minimum age requirement in your country, your account will be banned. And if this account is, and you want to appeal, please follow instructions here to go through the ID scan option to verify your date of birth, blah blah blah. If I remember correctly, I think the minimum age for Discord is, I think it's 12, no, or is it 13 in some places? It might be 13 where I live, but I'll have to double check that. So yeah, it's kind of like, but this is for the UK, so I think the UK might actually be, yeah, the UK might be 13. But here also talks about like privacy forward age assurance process. So you have a privacy protecting process. You have verify once. You can always re-verify and visible only to you. And so what do you get once you are in the group? Okay, you get a little tag that says you are unverified or verified. So I guess you get a little badge, I guess. And so they do have a bit of a Q&A on what's going on here. And so they say here, getting started with age assurance. So the question is, when do I need to verify my age on Discord? If you have not verified your age group yet, you may be asked to do so the first time you encounter any of these situations. So when attempting to unblur sensitive content blocked by our sensitive media filter, when attempting to change the default settings for the sensitive media filter, when attempting to change your message request settings, when you are trying to access an age-restricted 18+ channel. So, as it is right now, you can just change these settings on the fly whenever you want, to my knowledge. And so here, questions is, how many times do I still verify my age? And of course, it's a one-time process, but all it takes is one time for a company to get your data, and once they have it, and guess what? It's basically, well, it is basically free real estate with your information. So it's like, yeah. But another reason why I am very skeptical about this is not only that, private company, all that, but Discord literally, like a few months ago, literally had a big hack situation that happened where, like, I believe like 1 terabytes of information was basically just out there. Now, of course, it was done through their third party, which ended up getting leaked, or the data getting leaked through, which didn't really help. So basically, a bunch of people got some emails about it. But I kind of want to go over the situation just a bit to tell you like how severe it was, because it wasn't just something where it was like, just one little incident. It's like, no, a lot of stuff happened. So without further ado, let's take a quick look into the situation and show you guys why, you got to protect your safety. So this is from actually Discord themselves when they're talking about the breach. So let's take a look here. It says what data was involved. The data that may have been impacted was related to our customer service system. This may include name, Discord username, email, and other contact details if provided to Discord customer support, limited billing information such as payment type, the last 4 digits of your credit card, and purchase history if associated with your account, IP addresses, messages with our customer service agents, limited corporate data, training materials, internal presentations, and the unauthorized party also gained access to a small number of government ID images. So you saw that last part by their own admission, okay? So imagine you were the one who put your information into this without them asking you to age verify, and God forbid another hack comes in. Well, that's a lot of power. So I don't know what actually transpired between the people who got that hacked, but I'm sure stuff happens all the time. So it also says if your ID may have been accessed, that will be specified in the email you receive. So they'll say what data was not involved. So full credit card numbers or CCV codes, messages or activity on Discord beyond what users may have discussed with customer support, and passwords or authentication data. So at least the bare minimum, some stuff wasn't leaked out like that. But still, your billing information getting out and stuff like your government ID is not exactly something that you want to be dealing with. Because it's just, that's a lot of information, by the way, that's getting out. It's not just something where it's like, I got a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It's like, no, some very crucial stuff is out. And God knows what kind of impersonation or, hell, even blackmail you can get from that. So let's see what the email actually looks like. So remember, in case you don't know how stuff like data breaches work every single time something happens, what a company should do, this whole time, but what they should do is that they have to notify the users every single time a breach happens. Why? Because that's your valuable information in there. And so here's what the email looks like for Discord in particular. It says here, hello, we're reaching out to you because of a recent security incident on September 20th involving your personal data. Specifically, an unauthorized party gained limited access to a third-party customer service system used by Discord. We have confirmed that some of your personal data associated with your account with our customer support or trust and safety teams was exposed in this incident. This may include your name, Discord username, email, other contact details if you provided them. So yeah, that's kind of insane, right? And so here's an example actually from one of the things. So this is where this is a random young lady who got exposed by it. So this is her verifying something, at least from what we can tell. And so she has her paper up and her face matching it next to it, because some places will be like, oh, hold up a spoon with your face next to it or something, or write your name and put it there. Because at least maybe now with AI it's a bit different, but back then, or not back then, just the way people verify, it's like, oh, if your certain conditions cannot be met by Photoshop. So that's really hard. I mean, then again, some of these catfishes are so creative that who knows how much you could bypass in terms of that. But yeah, that's where we're at. Lots of crazy catfishes. And so here I just want to show you guys as well, something else from the incident, which is, so talking about enjoy the sample. The longer I don't receive a reply, the more will be posted. Another fact Discord failed to disclose in their press release, payment info included credit card expiration date. So card type, last 4 plus expiry date. This also impacts users who made any kind of ticket, just not just once about billing. So if you paid for Discord Nitro and stuff like that, that also would not end well for you either. And that's just, there's a lot of other incidences or other different stuff that happen. So that's where we are now, which is kind of insane. So anyways, where does this all lead now back to the initial point of the video? So we've already seen that one, Discord is not very trustworthy when it comes down to having information, because there was a breach not too long ago, which you should be very wary of. 2, to use a basic service like Discord, you shouldn't be having to give up your age verification anyways. You shouldn't be giving up your ID, because even with the local laws and stuff, it's not done out of the most noble intentions. It's just done to keep people's information. Because, mind you, your personal information is actually, ironically, one of the most powerful tools that anyone can have. Not just you, but any company can have. Hence why, there's a lot of rules around that. Stuff like GDPR and, well, GDPR is actually the big one, and various privacy laws around the world. And so now, the fact that Discord wants this from you, you should be saying, collectively should be saying, hell no, you are not getting my information. And if it comes to the point where, like, even for me, I use it pretty often, but it'll be like, oh well, if you want to use Discord, you gotta verify your age. Guess what? They're not gonna get it. I'm not gonna give it to them because they already have enough stuff as it is. And I'm not someone who like gives out their information like that either, especially for especially nowadays. If I don't need to give it away, I don't do that. And you should probably take the same application too. If they're asking for it, you probably don't have to give it. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I find it's absolute madness that, like, because this Online Safety Act, despite a lot of pushback went through, it still only gets worse from there. But I know the UK especially is really bad with these kind of policies. But, my solution to this kind of stuff is always like, train people how to use this stuff properly. And actually, before we head off the video, I want to say training manuals, like company secrets on Discord. Ugh, this is why a lot of your companies force you to take cybersecurity like courses on how to do stuff, because you would be surprised. Okay, the fact of the matter is, a lot of people don't know not to put certain stuff on the internet. It's actually insane to me. Or a lot of people don't know how to deal with proper phishing scams, which really should be taught in school, in my opinion. Online safety should be like mandatory, especially now. But this is the reason why, like, you see stuff like that. That's why you have to take an obligatory cybersecurity course at your own workplace. Because guess what? Some people just doesn't seem to click in their heads. But anyways, that's enough of talking about this topic. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow my social in the description below. Leave a dislike if you want to. It doesn't matter to me, but I am going to see you in whatever the next video is. Hopefully something a bit more interesting than this. See ya.